Hi friends, welcome to Val's Kitchen Eats, and today I'd like to share with you how I make one of my most favorite comfort foods. We will be making smoked chicken mac and cheese. I know it's time for me to make my mac and cheese because I have all these little scraps of cheese. They kind of accumulated over a month. Every time we go to the store, we pick up a little cheese for our omelet, a little cheese for mozzarella for a pizza, a little bit for maybe some kind of sandwiches that we're gonna use. And I have about 5-6 cheeses that I'm gonna put in my mac and cheese. So as long as, my rule is, as long as you have your American and you have some cheddar, you can throw a mac and cheese down, those two cheeses, but the more the better, the more flavors you will have. So I will begin by marinating my chicken breast. So let me just put my gloves on here really quick, and I will be marinating it in my smoke, liquid smoke. You don't have to have a smoker to make this. So any supermarket now these days has liquid smoke. You buy a little bottle, and whenever you're putting some ingredients together that you want that smoky flavor, you can just add some of this stuff. So I have 2 chicken breasts in this bowl. I'm gonna put some of the smoke in here. Okay, salt and pepper, and a little bit of olive oil goes in. Let it marinate for at least 15 minutes or so before it will go into the oven. I'm gonna just let them sit in this bowl right here on the side. My glove comes off, and my water is boiling for the pasta. Pasta's gonna go into our boiling water. I'm just gonna season it really well with salt. So you want the water to be about salty as the ocean is. So that looks good. Crank up the heat, and our elbows go in. Let me push these ingredients to the side, and we will start working on our crust. I'm gonna be using this Japanese bread. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just trim the sides, stack it up. I don't want any extra color on my crust on top of the mac and cheese, so I'm gonna just cut the bread crust off. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take the bread and kind of tear it up. If you don't have one of these, you can just chop it up with your knife and snap this back in. Okay, let's check. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I don't want it too fine. I want it to have some kind of texture, as you can see right over here in this camera. So I'm happy with that. I got some Reggiano Parmigiano here. Let's take that and shred that. Okay. All right guys, so I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make these nice little crisps from Parmesan cheese. Where's my ring? What is it? Right here. So I got one of these rings. I got my silicone pad here on the sheet pan. So what I'm gonna do, this camera will see it, right? So put that in, take a little amount and kind of spread it out evenly. Thin layer, like that. We'll make another one. And this goes into the oven. It's about maybe 3 minutes, and I'll check on it. Okay, I'm gonna just transfer our chicken right into this sheet pan here. Marinate it for a little while, and put the tenders on the sides right here. Elbows are ready, they're al dente, and our cheese crisps are coming out of the oven, they're hot. The chicken can go in. And for the chicken, I'm gonna crank the oven up to 400 degrees instead of the 350 that we needed for the Parmesan crisps. Okay, so while our chicken is cooking in the oven, I'm expecting it to take about maybe 35 to 45 minutes. When it reaches 165 degrees, it will be done. I'm gonna begin by making our cheese sauce. So I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. Some butter goes in, and flour. flour we need to make our roux. Even amounts of butter and flour will make your roux, and roux will hold your cheese sauce together. You won't let it break. If you skip this process and you just add cream, milk, and cheese, once you bring it to a certain temperature, it will just split up and break on you. It will not look pleasant. It will not be something that you would want to eat. I have a little bit of this nutmeg for that little warmth. And at this point, I'm going to start adding my cream. Mixing it in. So I don't want to put all of it in at the same time because that can make lumps, and we're trying to avoid that. Okay, we want to take this up to a nice simmer. We don't want it boiling. At this point, I'm going to start putting my American cheese slices in. Okay, turn it down. We don't want it boiling too hard. And all this cheese. Some of this jack cheddar can go in. And I'm going to continue whisking and letting that cheese kind of melt in there nice and slow. All right, it's time to check on the chicken. So the tenders, I know, I can tell they're already done. I'll just pull them off. We don't want them to overcook. And on our breasts, I'm going to put my thermometer in the thickest part of the chicken. And it is reading 145. This one is about like 155. So I'm going to put it back in the oven and give them a little more time. Let's begin with our crumbs. I have a little bit of this melted butter and our breadcrumbs. I'm just going to pour it over a little at a time and see how much, just so it absorbs, every little bit of it absorbs a little butter. Maybe a little more. You know what? Looks like it might need the whole thing. Just toss it around a little bit. All right, I'm going to put it to the side, and let me bring my cheese sauce over. Now, secret ingredient is Tabasco. I know you might say, oh, I don't want any spice in it. I don't like spicy stuff. But I could assure you, if you put a few drops, it elevates the flavor that much more. Just a few drops. I'm not putting a lot. That should be good. Give it another taste. Delicious. And I'm going to start adding our elbows in. What should I use? Let's use this. Okay. Put that aside. Let it come up a little bit. It is good to eat just the way it is right now, but we're going to bake it. It is gourmet. And we will be adding our chicken, just hopefully another 5 minutes or so, once it's cooked. It is time to check on our chicken again. Let's see. Oh, this is what you have. 2 beautiful breasts. All right, let's check on the temp. It should be done by now. Yes, it is. All right, this one's done, just to make sure. And that one, yep, they're both done. Let's transfer them over. All right, guys, so the chicken is gonna cool down for a few minutes because I don't wanna burn my hands. And then we'll dice it and add it to our mac and cheese mixture. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we gave a few minutes for our chicken to kind of cool off. Let's start by dicing this one here. So you're looking for really some small dices, something similar to this, that can go right in there. All right, it is time to mix our chicken in. It all goes in like that. Just mix it in, put that in. All right, so you're just gonna fill it up, not all the way to the top. I'm gonna leave about 1 inch because the cheese, once it gets hot, it's gonna be bubbling and we don't want it to flow over. I got these ramekins. This one here is more of an individual size. If you were gonna get it like in a restaurant or you have some friends over and you just wanna serve individually like this, that's why I'm doing that, just to show you guys what you can do. We're just gonna top it off a little bit on our ramekins like that. See, just like that. I'm gonna spread it out evenly. All right, and we're going to cover it with some parchment paper so it doesn't stick. If I was just gonna put foil over, our bread mixture can stick to the foil. Wouldn't look good. It'll take our topping off when it's cooking, when we're pulling it off. This way, I just cover it up with parchment paper and that'll prevent that. And our foil goes over. All right, so it goes in. I have my oven at 375. And I'll check on our mac and cheese in about 25-30 minutes. All right, it is time for me to check on our mac and cheese. You sure you want to see it? Let's see. Bring that over. All right. So, look at that. That's what you're looking for. Okay, I'm gonna just set those aside. Let's check on it. All right, it is starting to bubble, so that's good. We can take the foil off and it will go into the oven without the foil to continue browning. Okay, so here are the chips, the Parmesan crisps that I promised you guys. Okay, so this is what we have. You can, for presentation, two things can be done. If you want to do something a little special for your guests, with your fork, make a little pocket here, and they can go in just like that. One. Let's work on the other one. Put that right here and show you guys. Beautiful. Okay. So it is time to try. Mmm. Mmm. Delicious. Mm. Not much I can say. I wish I had you guys here in this kitchen to sample this with me. It is really, really good. And I know my family will enjoy it. But we're still waiting on the rest of the mac and cheese to finish cooking. And I will show you how that looks in about 10 minutes or so. Okay guys, so this is how I trade this one up, like that. Put a little microgreens on a plate. And let's set that aside. I think our mac and cheese is ready. Yes, it is. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna taste this one because it's the same thing that I've tasted and I can vouch. It is amazing. It tastes really, really good. And I'm gonna let this kind of cool down and call my kids over and let them enjoy it. Maybe call a neighbor or two over. All right, guys, so I really enjoyed sharing this recipe with you. I had a lot of fun, and I'll be making a lot more recipes on this channel and sharing them with you guys. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for my other videos. Aloha!